I have McDonald's with me. Right. Today is, I think, June 2nd or June 3rd. The government said, okay, June 1 officially lockdown is lifted. Yay! And a lot of people have actually been outside of their compound, but I decided to stay home and just order McDonald's. I thought it would be a good opportunity to, you know, hang with you and eat. You can get something to eat too, so while you watch me or hang with me, you can also eat, so we're like eating together even though it's through the camera. We eat, I thought it would be a good idea to also answer some questions that my family and friends have been asking me during this lockdown. I know it's a bit late, but you know, why not? And it gives me an excuse to eat McDonald's and hang with you. I'm so excited! Yo, they didn't give me any ketchup. Okay, let me get ketchup. Got my ketchup. So I ordered chicken nuggets. Yum! Also these cut French fries. Usually this is not what I order, but because they were just starting again delivery, they're very limited on the menu. So I'm happy with this. I can't complain. McDonald's is McDonald's and French fries are good. And chicken nuggets are, as well, is the best. Always need some salt. My ketchup. I was so excited, you don't understand. I mean, I actually, if you're my really close friend or like my family, you know that I love McDonald's. I love McDonald's so much. For my first birthday, I had a party at McDonald's. I even have a picture of me like drinking Coke and doing like I want to just take the first bite. After so long in lockdown, I finally get McDonald's back. It's so good.
Everything I talk about in this video is based on my lockdown situation / experience. Other people living here in Shanghai have different experiences and situations. But just wanted to make that clear.
Alrighty, let's get into it. The questions that I've been asked by friends and family. Oh my god, I'm so happy at McDonald's, like seriously. First question, how are you coping? How are you coping, Lulu? Of course, like everyone else, I have my good days and bad days. Some days I'll be really like pumped to be like staying at home. So easy, I can wake up, still wear my pajamas, just brush my teeth, wash my face, get my coffee and work, and I have like a normal day. Some days it's super hard and I'm just like, oh, so demotivated and like I don't want to do anything at all. But overall, like I actually enjoyed the lockdown in the beginning because I didn't have to do anything, like didn't have to go out or anything, just be by myself, hang with my dog here. I've been coping pretty well though, because you know why? I got my family here. Unlike some people in Shanghai, like I have my family here because I moved into Shanghai with them, which is so good. And I actually live with my parents and my dogs. So if it wasn't for them, if I didn't live with them, if I didn't live in this house with them, I would be super like sad, because imagine living by yourself in an apartment that's tiny during a lockdown where you can't go out at all. It would be pretty tough on your mental state and just on everything, you know. And besides that, I do work, I find work to do as well. And then I also try to look online for dance classes and workouts, because obviously the gym is closed, the dance studio is closed. And I also vlog. I started vlogging because I was so bored that I needed to find some new hobby. So I also cope because of you guys, so thank you. Thanks to you, because you guys actually watch my videos. Well, my friends and family watch my videos. Thank you, friends and family. I love you. Love you. So the next question is, do you plan to stay? Why don't you just leave? Why don't you just get out? The answer is yes, I plan to stay. Because I want to stay and because, you know, my life is here. My parents are here, my dogs are here again. Like that's my answer to the first question, but it's true. Like I have this attachment to my parents unlike any other person I know, even if I'm super old. If you didn't know, I grew up in Shanghai. We came here when I was 13 going on 14. I don't know, I can't imagine leaving, even though a lot of my friends are leaving now. It would be super hard for me to do. Yeah. Besides, if I do decide to leave Shanghai, it will be pretty hard because there's barely any flights available. And if there are flights to book, you have to pay like 2-3 times more than they usually are. Like the price skyrocketed. Also, the fact that I have a Filipino passport, I can't just go anywhere that I haven't applied a visa to, because you know the consulates where you would apply to them, they were all closed during this lockdown. So I could have gone back home to the Philippines, but also coming back to Shanghai from the Philippines is just so much more harder for us to come back to, because it's like limited amount of flights. But because coming back from the Philippines, it's just like a riskier place to come back from. And what I mean by that is just in terms of the COVID situation, you know. I've also heard from some family friends that even if they were working in Shanghai, have a legal working visa, went back to the Philippines for holidays, and their company can still help them come back, it's just they're not able to because it's just hard for them, you know. And maybe it's different from case to case, but this is just what I know, you know. Next question is, how long have I been in lockdown? I've been in lockdown since March 11 until June 1. That is about 83 days. We have had the longest lockdown, I think, so far, because I live in Minhang district. In the beginning of the lockdown, Minhang district had the most positive cases. Our compound, our district, was locked down before anyone else's. During the lockdown though, we were able to go outside. There was like 3 days. You saw one video of me going outside for 1 day, but it was like limited time, right? For like 4 hours of that day, and only one person from the family could go out. My parents did go out the next day that we had another freedom day, but again, only one person from the family, so they actually had to ask a neighbor to give them their pass since the neighbor wasn't using the pass. The next question, why is the government closing down now that the rest of the world is opening up? Well, because the government enforced a zero COVID policy, which means that whenever there is a case, they have to react like the way they've been reacting this past few months. And because since they announced that to the world internationally, to everybody, they have to stick to what they say and have to prove that, okay, we said that we're going to do a zero COVID policy, so we're going to go through with it and stick to it no matter how many people protest and complain and everything. Because if you didn't know, like, saving face or to lose face in Chinese culture is very important. It's just so that they could retain respect and avoid, you know, embarrassment, humiliation, so they gotta stick with it. The next question, are all your stores also closed? Yes, they were all closed in the beginning. Like, for example, in the first 2 weeks, they were all closed, obviously, because not only are we in lockdown, but business owners, shops, and everything, the drivers or delivery men, it was very hard to get anything in. Thank God that my mom buys in bulk, like even before lockdown, so we had a lot of supplies still inside the house. In the beginning, the government didn't really act fast on the rations until a little bit later. The government did send us government rations, about like 3 or 4 boxes filled with like a lot of vegetables, even some Chinese vegetables that I have never tasted in my life. We had to like search online how to make it. But after a while, delivery was slowly coming back and we could actually order, but only order in like group buys, which means that as a compound you have to, someone has to organize it and contact the store or business selling all the products, take everyone's orders, and there was always a minimum order quantity. I cannot eat and talk at the same time because I don't want to eat with my mouth open, and also like I'm not very good at doing 2 things at once. The group buys were pretty good in the end, like it helped, but it was so difficult sometimes. Like I organized 2 or 3 group buys with the compound, and my mom did as well, and it was just so mafan. Mafan means like it's like such a trouble because one, you have to ask in the main group, does anyone want to buy? Then you have to create a group chat on WeChat. Then you have to take everyone's orders, and then you have to record them on an Excel sheet if the company didn't have like some mini program to use for your orders. And then you have to coordinate between like the neighbors, your community, your compound security, as well as like the outside person, or like outside person, like the delivery or the business. But it's all worth it in the end when you get what you want. The next question is, are the only stores open just essential stores? The lockdown was still going on, but some businesses were able to open again. So that means like local supermarkets or pharmacies, of course, to get your medicine. But these stores could only be open for a limited amount of time, and per day they would limit the orders. So you would be on your phone like 6 a.m. looking at the app and looking which one is open and being super fast on what you want to order, because if you were too slow, you were not gonna get your order and the window would be closed and no more opportunity to buy, and then you have to do the same thing again the next day. So yeah, it was pretty hard. The next question is, how long will your lockdown last? Like, now that I'm recording this after the lockdown, because I get McDonald's and I want to eat with you, it lasted from, like I said earlier, March 11 to June 1. But not everything is back to normal. You have to remember that. So June 1, everyone was super happy. Freedom Day, yay. Outside of the compound, I can go see my friends who are not in lockdown anymore. But after June 1, that first day, there were a lot of people going outside. They were having parties on the streets, drinking and everything. But the police did come and like shut down some parties. Some people, after being outside on June 1, got tested positive. So then, even if your building has one positive case, that whole building will shut down again, and they will put the entire compound on lockdown. Even if like June 1 official lockdown is over, some people are still in lockdown. Some businesses are still in lockdown or closed. Personally, I don't really want to go out to like the main city center or go into big crowds. It makes me really nervous, because even if we are free to go outside, like, I don't want to go outside. What if I accidentally get COVID? What if I get infected? What if I test positive and then I get found out and then get thrown into a quarantine camp? Like, no. And then I'm going to accidentally infect my parents? No. And then we have like dogs here. And if you didn't know, like, some pet owners who tested positive got taken away from their home and put into quarantine camp, and they had no time to get the dog or like put the dog away for anything, for in a kennel or something, or ask a friend to take care of them. So then when the quarantine or the CDC came into their house, like, there was 2 cases where those people just killed their dog. And it wasn't in Shanghai, I think. It was in another city, but still, like, that is so scary. Like, I don't want that to happen. But yeah, I am going to continue eating my McDonald's. I hope you enjoyed this little video. We got to eat together, hang a bit. You got to ask me questions. Well, not you specifically, but the people who asked me the questions that I answered on this video too. Anyway, it was nice to hang out with you. Thanks for watching. You're the best. Cheers on that. Give me your little drink. Cheers. If you like this video, please like it down below and give me a thumbs up. Sorry, that was so extra. And then if you haven't subscribed yet, which I'm probably sure you have because my friends and family are the only ones watching this, so I know you probably subscribed already. But if you're new, please do subscribe and make sure you turn on the notification bell. Ding! You get notified when I post something and you can watch it immediately, yeah? Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for coming to hang with me. I'm gonna enjoy my McDonald's. Okay, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.